Hello, my name is Ethan and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile 3.9 Metamorph League. In this episode, I want to discuss the Elegant Hubris Jewel, what it is, why you can use it, what it's used for, how strong it is, where to put it, how to do it, how to get it, how cheap is it, how expensive, etc. Enjoy the video. So first I would like to start off with an explanation of the Timeless Jewel, etc. I've done this in the past with the Lethal Pride, but let's start with this. So this is a Timeless Jewel, Elegant Hubris. You can only have one Timeless Jewel in your build, so you cannot use a Lethal Pride and the Elegant Hubris in the same build. So the next step is it's a Timeless Jewel, so it has a range of coins. This one is 2,000 to 160,000, so it's a lot of random rolls. There's a big amount of variables compared to the 8,000 rolls of a Lethal Pride. This has way more. So you can see that this is Cadiro Victorio. It shouldn't matter. You just get an Elegant Hubris. They're like 10C right now, and then you can just literally watch this, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to get the same one. Just Elegant Hubris Timeless Jewel. You grab this, and then it doesn't even matter which part of the skill tree, but just know that when you use this Timeless Jewel, it will corrupt all of the nodes. All the travel nodes become Price of Glory, and the actual nodes change. So I'll show you this one first as an example. So when you type in minion, you can see here, you can get minions have 80% increased maximum life, 80% increased maximum life, and 80% increased damage. And this is just a random jewel that I bought off trade. I didn't do anything. So this was 10C, and if I don't like it, I can resell it for 10C again, especially if I bought a bunch of them. So then this one was also just off trade, and this has just 80% life for 3 points. So that's cool. And then here's my jewel that I got off somebody after checking 157 of them and not finding something as good as this. So it's a 3.80% life, then a 2.80% damage, 2.80% damage, and a 4.80% damage. So the potential in Timeless Jewels Elegant Hubris is insane. Basically, there's also more rolls you can go for. You don't have to just go for minion damage and minion life. So you can also get chaos res. You can get cold, fire, lightning res. You can get life, like 10% increased life. There's so many neat rolls. I also saw this one where you have 30% increased maximum mana, and I said, oh, this could be used for a mana guardian because you don't build health, you build mana, and it kind of has a good ratio to where it's actually worth taking for 3 points maybe. This is pretty interesting, right? More mana on your skill tree than you could normally get, and it's juicy. So the potential of this Elegant Hubris Timeless Jewel, it doesn't just go towards minions, it also spans across every single build in the entire game because it has so many useful stats, because it has such a big range. And then the cost is basically free if you buy them and then just sell them to other people. And maybe they'll check a different spot and they'll keep being rotated around because you don't know where the person checked it. It doesn't have to be the same spot you checked it. Subscribe! So, quick easy step for if you were trying to get this right now. I would go to trade, buy an Elegant Hubris. So simple. 10C. Put it in your skill tree as I did here. You could even, like I said, this one. And then you could type in minion so that it highlights the minion nodes. Or you can just hover over the affected areas and see what the mods that you got were. I'll hover over a few here so you can see what kind of things you can roll. But this doesn't just do minions. This is pretty insane in the fact that technically if you just rotate these around through people, then it's like free. Yeah, super cool. So I would recommend buying them and trying them and then reselling them and not actually divining them unless the price goes up. So the case where the price goes up and everybody is sifting through the market for all the good minion ones, there might not be any left in the good areas, so therefore we would then get value out of divining if the price of Elegant Hubrises go up. What does the price of Elegant Hubrises have to go to for it to be worth to divine them? Probably like 100 C. There you go. So what is the power level of this jewel? Okay, so I'll put it into perspective like this. 80% increased damage for 2 points. Over here we have, the easiest way of putting it would be, I guess, this one. So it's 10% damage, 10% damage, and 20% damage. So you get 40% in 3 points. And this is 80% in 3 points, and this is 80% in 2 points. 4 points and 2 points. This is ridiculous. Like, the power level of this jewel is like twice as much as our skill tree. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I had even more potential. I could have hit more 2-pointers. Guys, this is ridiculous. Think about this, honestly. And then even if you try to use the jewels instead of the skill tree, so you'd have like Quickening Covenant, Fortress Covenant, the 2 jewels that give you increased attack speed and cast speed and the increased damage for your minions, even those don't compete with the damage that this is putting out. So I highly recommend an Elegant Hubris. It's super cheap to get into. I don't think you have to divine or waste any money. I think you can get into it for free. 80% increased damage for 2 or 3 points would be really worth it. 2 of them sounds absolutely insane. Maybe some minion life, because let me point this one out. Let's say we go the other way around. Let's say this is a 2.80% minion life, right? If you look at the skill tree, you get 10, 0, 0, 20. If we took this point, we get 10. If over here, 12 damage, and then, oh look, finally 20 life. So on this whole thing, I don't even have 80. So this one 2-pointer thing is so much HP. It's ridiculous. This basically takes away the entire minion health nerf scaling that they took out in the patch for 2 points. This 180%. 2 of them, your minions will literally become unkillable. So the question's gonna come up, Wally, then should I use my Lethal Pride that I have that's rolled really well, or should I use this Elegant Hubris Timeless Jewel? So basically, I would recommend, this is where I will give you the advice. So my advice is, if you are in transition to this, then you should try to work out how to get the strength in other places, like another efficient training, a third one, or in the place of the Timeless Jewel, getting more strength in your gear, just trying to iron out the extra strength, maybe on your skill tree, Utmost Might, and all that stuff. Work out the strength so that you don't need the Lethal Pride. Then you have the luxury of getting rid of it to where you can take advantage of this massive damage and health boost for your minions. This should not be underestimated, and I highly recommend moving towards the Elegant Hubris if you can. The Lethal Pride strength stacking is great in a strength stacking build, but when we moved away from strength stacking, technically the power level of that jewel also went down. Yep. So I highly recommend looking at this jewel, and the price might go up. So if you grab a lot of them, and I guess resell them later, maybe they go up and stuff. It's pretty neat. I want this part to be, if you guys can find a better one than this minion one that I have, right, with the 240, 80, and this is 5 points, 7 points, 11 points. If you can get a better jewel than this for me, I'll buy it. Come to me. Also, if it has more damage, I'm interested. That's pretty neat, you know? Word down. Let's try that shit out, because there's some interesting stuff we can do there. There's one more thing. Life on the skill tree through this jewel is better than adding a life gem in your zombies, because this is 56% more damage, or removing melee fizz. The Awakened Melee Fizz is 56% more melee fizz. You don't want to lose either of those. You don't want to lose Intimidate. You don't want to lose any gem in your entire race zombie. I'm going to be honest, it's very important. And also, this life actually counts for all of your minions, including your Stone Golem, your AG, your Ray Spectre, and your zombie, not just your zombies. So having your zombie links as pure damage and having the tree and all the other stuff to buff up the minions is buffing up all the minions collectively instead of, yeah, so making the zombies pure damage. If you've ever thought about changing it, I've thought about changing it to a minion life or a meat shield or just... There's a reason our zombies are the pure damage, okay, on the weapon. Yeah. Okay, so to quickly sum up, basically, you're going to probably want to switch away from a Lethal Pride. You're probably going to want to get the Strength somewhere else. You're going to want to figure that out. And then you're going to want to get Elegant Hubrises and start looking for some increased damage and stuff. Maybe find one insane one that you think, man, I don't really need this insane one. I should sell this to Ethan for money, and I'll buy it, and we make... good trade and very happy, but otherwise enjoy. You punch this kind of stuff in your POB. It's really easy. If you add an item like a jewel into the socket and you put minions deal 80% increased damage, you'll see the damage, and then you do 160 and 240 and you'll see the damage. Try the 80% life and test out the damage. This is in Path of Building. I'll leave mine below, and it'll have the jewel, and you can take it in and out if you want just by, so in the jewel socket, just change it to none instead of having the jewel, and then it'll show the damage decrease when you take out 240% increased damage off the skill tree through this jewel. Yep. I had a realization that no one's gonna goddamn punch this in the POB, and then they're gonna ask me to do it, so here you go. Here's the first one, the 80% increased minion damage on my build. So 441, look at the damage, 441 total DPS to 495. So you gained 54k for 80%. Next one, we go up to 550, that's for 160%. For the 240, we go up to 605,000 damage per zombie. And then you see their life, 49,512, add the 80%, 66,500. Tell me that's not broken. Anyways, there you go. I did the hard work for you of the POB. Enjoy. For the people who didn't know how to do it, there you go. Thank you to my Patreon and YouTube members who financially support me. There's also been a lot of financial support on the Twitch. We've been streaming every day pretty much since like before Christmas even, and we're up to 27 subs out of 28. We've almost reached our sub goal. But thank you to my Patreon and YouTube members as well. Tridnex, Hannah, Stephen C, Last Fable, Stacy, Boggy, White Wolf, YouTube members Garbar, Tridnex, White Wolf, of Arkbone, Kerbad, John, the Luge Lamprey, Dawood, Dubu, and Goose Eggs. Thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!